na gusugiri ande onse asuru mwanchu muri na kwaiga ni gocha SMS itamangana magia tunyako tukuri na gusanga ari abiri ko bakagwatika kurwa chingo ngonye chense ande mona una abasaki baito amangana magia banyane ko bagutwariganiria ayako nyara ko bagakubwati ko ritangante tunyanyore asinchira yuko yakararia umusacha oyo mobu miaka ya igatwa niga atoka kaitete asigetu kya banyanyimbo kigotoka kya bumburi ekigotoka ebunge abugetu cha North County ya Kisii Naboigo umuwaziri w'uburendi bw'emekitsure kindi kinigo araririe machiko amatindi arachikonya ko bakako enekiwa asichipara anemuno chingaki amatuka yaiga abantu abangi banyere ko bagusiria amagima okubwatikana amone mibasukano emebeye para Naboigo murai bwense Dr. William Samoei Ruto nigo anyere ko bakagwetia lichiko ryo kwagacha chiomba cha magori ainse na kobari chiko imense ya Kenya neba ngali chikiria nya kobari konyora ukwameria ukongekuru asigati ya bakenya amona bara ibande Irietariana ni ngongoro kwa Heston Bosire tokonya chaka koru ase bunge ya bogetu cha North Imie County ya Kisii ase gitu kyabanya nyimbo kya bomburi waso musacha oyo mogwi myaka yigatua atoikana kaisungeti kubwatikana amo musacha uyo niko tokonya ko tokwerebuna nikanya tokobaka wikiwa ase gitu ikikyabanya nyimbo abo asane tokobaka osweru na mumura umwabo egekore kyo niko Kenya ko gekwenekiwa amono monene bwabanya nyimbo Imie County ya Kisii Charles Kasese asanya kubakwerebuna musacha uyo nikanya tokobaka goswero na boigo ase eseri abanyanyimbo manya tokobaka kwimukia egetambukiro ekyo kyo gwesungia gutumeka eyanga eyu abigete oigo Kasese niganya tokobaka kwenike buna ubutuki onigo bwacha kire bwikanu kubwatikana amoneke kore kinga bunekyo
There was a suicide incident that took place at Mumburia Police Post in Marani sub-county, that is in Kisii County. It took place yesterday at around between 16:00 hours thereabouts, and we were able to visit the scene, and we have launched an investigation to establish why that prisoner, namely Kennedy Mungare, aged about 50 years, decided to commit suicide. He was brought to the post by his brother, who is the complainant, and he was complaining about that the brother was threatening to kill him. And now, because that's a criminal offense, he was arrested, and he was pending collection to Kegogi police station, an established police station where we have cells, established cells. So he was just there pending collection to Kegogi police station, and that's when he decided to commit suicide. Already we have informed the IPOA, Independent Policing Oversight Authority, also to launch investigation into that incident. Okay, alitumia kamba kujinyonga, and as our officers were there at the report office, they had a struggle. There was a struggle, and that prompted our officers to say that there must be something happening here. So that's how it happened. I have the CIO here, and she's confirming that he used a piece of cloth, to commit the offense. It's unfortunate, and of course, if postmortem will be conducted, and so that will be established the cause of death.
Boigo kuru ase county ya Kisii niyo kumnyekuika ase county ya Nairobi abu asomura ibense Dr. William Samoei Ruto anyara kubaka kwetia umuntu biri goseri kwetia richi koria housing refi kobari chiko imense ya Kenya ka kwana imiyo munyumba y'uburayi State House Imie county ya Nairobi utoniga ene kebuna umuntu biri yuni gorachi kunya kabako konya abasaye banene mono abatabwati egasi muna enjere ya moyo kurwa amabaka yemirimo guki ase abasaye abo boigo nigo umurubiri wirachaka bwikanu umutinyi ogocha abo asaba kori bonsi abakori emirimo be serikali bonsi bachikunyako bakobuturwa engeri yabo eye monukta isano iguriemia ase engeri yabo akonyorakera umutinyi.
In a nutshell, Your Excellency, this bill provides a framework for implementation of the affordable housing program. It creates a board for purposes of administering the affordable housing programs. That board, Your Excellency, is mandated to undertake certain things in law. The bill also establishes 4 components of affordable housing, including the social housing unit, which is for persons who are earning less than 20,000 per month. The middle class, which is for persons who are earning between above 49,000, and the general affordable housing for persons who are earning between 20,000 and 149,000, Your Excellency.
Excellency, we have 45,525 units under construction, Your Excellency, under your leadership. We have already advertised for contracting purposes and tendering 48,988 units, which we should be taking off by way of signing the contracts in the next 1 month.
Categories karibu 3 ya ujenzi wa kuna social houses ambaye mortgage yake itakuwa
3,200
na mortgage 3%. Mortgage yake ni 3%, na tunatumia hii fund kusubsidize ndio mortgage yako ikuje 3%. Tutakuwa na mortgage ya 6% kwa wale watu wa affordable housing na mortgage ya 9% kwa wale watu wa market rate. Saa hii mortgage katika taifa letu la Kenya iko 18-20%, lakini through this program, kupitia kwa mpango huu, ndio tutaweza to create more home owners by making it realistic and possible kwa watu kama wewe Meshak kupata uwezo wa kulipa shilingi 3,000 na ni kwa
Oigoto kurua kuru ase nyumba yobora State House ni ngongo kumya kwika asa magacho ye bunge ye Senate abo ase omo senator omo chore Gloria Oruba nyarako baka kubwatuka wikanu igentukirete ebunge ye Senate kumwaka isiko mokonyi mu governor ime county ya Kisii Dr. Robert Onsare Monda kolengana na Oruba ni kanyako baka kwene kebuna eze bunge ye Senate yanya tukabake go swana na siasa endionsi asoko mwaka isiko asiko neni ko banya tukaba kuringoria ingane yu aso wimemono Ayo konyora munda amuna mocho ayubu kurumi anemono asoko tema kumurigeria emeremo ase company ya machi ya Wasco Dennis Misati egentukirete kinabo kanya tukabage kogeche ababunga abo gosaba senator abo igena kumwaka isiko omokonyi mu governor kuru ase county ya Kisii ase bono arure egekuru egetini goche ase monto ndi bwensi okora egasi ya serikali okoirira chikunya kobaga kuibwatene amono bukurumi ni gara chikunya kobaga kumukirwa egetambukiro egetindi gose asanya kobaga kwane kebuna dichi kolinga mune irio ni godra chikunya kobali komonyora asara chikunya kokagwa kwa isikukuru asimirmu yaye akora ya kila rituko.
Tuliona pale Senate, we executed the mandate to make sure that the constitution is followed. So ile impeachment ya Honorable Monda haikuwa kwa sababu ya maneno ya omonyaribari ama omobasi. Ilikuwa kwa sababu ya maneno ya ufisadi, dealing with corruption. Kwa hivyo mimi I want to say that hata nikisimama pale mlinisikia vile ambavyo nilikuwa naongea, mlisikia zile maswali ambazo nilikuwa naulizwa. What I can tell you, the evidence was damning. Everything was tabled to showcase the basis of an impeachment, and the issue there of abuse of office came out really strong. The issue of corruption came out really strong, na ikafika kuwa kama mimi ningekuwa na kura, ningepiga kura kusema Honorable Monda aende nyumbani kwa sababu ya ile evidence ambayo ilikuwa pale. Amangana ya impeachment, and this is what I would like to tell abantu watu wetu Gusii, it is not about the politics. Omanyete, if you come to Senate to impeach someone because you do not support their political ambition, that is not a ground for impeachment. Grounds for impeachment huwa zimewekwa pale. Kwa hivyo kuniuliza kama itabadilisha pale siasa ya Kisii, siwezi kusema. Lakini kitu ambayo najua imebadilisha ni kuwa viongozi kutoka Kisii have now been put on notice. Kumaanisha kama ulikuwa unafanya siasa ya ufisadi, siasa ya fujo, siasa ya kunyanyasa youth, your time is up. Ile siasa si tunataka kama watu wa Kisii County ni siasa ya issue based. Kwa hivyo naweza kusema labda imebadilisha. Kwa sababu sasa unajua kama utasimama mahali kuitisha kiti, ujue pia tutakuangalia chapter 6 of integrity, tutakuangalia maneno ya fisadi, tutakuangalia maneno ya vile ambavyo unaweza kukaa na watu including your family. Kwa sababu unajua pale ile issues za Monda zilikuja, pia familia ikaja ikaleta issues, lakini impeachment haikuwa kwa sababu familia yake ilikuwa wanapigana na familia yake. Impeachment, wale ambao waliweka kura na kuambia na kuhakikishia kuwa haikuwa maneno ya familia, waliweka kura kwa maneno ya basis of corruption na abuse of office, na hivyo ndivyo Honorable Monda alienda nyumbani. As per the constitution, Honorable Monda has the right, if he feels that the Senate did not do a proper job, he has the right to appeal, to go to court. Na angaliwe pale pia wataangalie basis of impeachment, lakini mimi nakwambia kwa hakika kabisa wale ambao waliweka kura, na mimi nimekuambia kama ningekuwa na kura yangu haingekuwa kwa sababu ya yule ndugu yake ambaye alikuja pale kusema kuwa Honorable Monda ni mtu mbaya. Hapana, that is not a ground for impeachment. Lakini the ground for impeachment ni ya kuwa kuna pesa 100,000 ambaye ilitumwa kwa managing director, hongo ya kuweza kupatia yule kijana kazi. That is corruption.
Wancho murigelere ni kaugento kubatia amangana majakuru amazing voice of victory na uska ujibosio ayandi nalinga igati ya barai ni gabanye ko baba gwesoke na komocha enkwana yumuriki obutambe ase wizara yechisemi aga Kenya Biro Kipsang asanya tukobaga kwanike muna serikali ngira chikunya ko kubwato kati besa echitaranya ko kubwato ka uchi ase chiskuru ka kyamatuko 10 aribosio korengana amona baraya bakurawo amona biwandai ngwanye ko bakomocha serikali aso kubwato kachira cy'uburimo goche ase abarimu igendo kerere emeroberi emenge okwama ase chiskuru ao na igo koirera abarimu abukonyara chinga kichingo ngwikania emeroberi ibabwende gwikania goche ase aborokiwa nabo kogenderia amasomo ase chiskuru imiense ya Kenya ase bono banyeriko bakubori serikali banyako bagutia kubwato kachira cy'uburimo na biko banyako bakwanike buna biri bibwante kubwato ko goche chiskuru kubwato kwa bire nabo igo ase chinga kichibwenete kuna injire ya moyo kogenderia amasomo immense ya Kenya.
Yesterday, I'm sure you heard the PS from the Ministry of Education once again announcing that the ministry will release funds to schools next week. We have lost count of the numerous times such promises have been made since the Kenya Kwanza regime took over. This is turning out to be a game of lies, managing the public on the one hand, while setting up school heads for failure, which the ministry has now perfected. No plausible reason has been given as to why funds that should have been disbursed earlier in the term are only being disbursed towards the end of the term. It is for this reason that we take the position that the Ministry of Education is setting up school heads and managers for ridicule, failure, and blame. In the process, our children are collateral. The Kenya Kwanza administration owes close to Kenya shillings 52.8 billion in free-day secondary school fund, dating back to the year 2021. This is testament enough to the lack of commitment by the government to the future of this country's school-going children. Unfortunately, these funds are coming too late. Whenever the ministry announces the funds or the release of the funds, suppliers flood schools, students make demands, and PTAs assume all is well, regardless of how small the amount released is or whether it actually ever gets released. The Ministry of Education is running the critical sector by setting up principals, school heads, and managers for failure, and then lying to learners and parents. This must stop. We are here to call out the government on the lies that have now crippled schools and exposed otherwise innocent principals, head teachers, and school managers to the wrath of parents and learners who buy into government lies that funds have been released to schools and other learning institutions.
If you look at the schedules, the agreement is term 1 you release 50%, term 2 you release 30%, term 3 you do 20%. That's normally the agreement in terms of how you release the resources. And I think the challenges we are facing as a country is a situation where the government is not able to adhere to those agreed targets with the principles. As the leader said, any country which plays around with the education sector plays around with their future. So what we are seeing as leaders is a situation whereby today we have all done very well, and everybody in this room can agree with me, but our children, I actually sympathize with those Kenyans who have not children in the CBSC curriculum. And I'm sure majority of you, when I look at you, you're in that category. That what is going to happen is 10 years to come or 15 years to come, we'll start now facing challenges as a result of what is happening today in our education sector. So it is very important that the government adheres to the agreement with the...
Wego maiga yabantu gwetania timi isane mokwene kiwa gusiria amagima abo asumwa koiga kubatukana amonu mibasukano emibeye pana bogo obotuko boigoro na rero bantu abange kwene kiwa gusiria amagima abo kubatukana amonu mibasukano ijanya kwage kwene kiwa chinsemo imensi ya Kenya mwaziri w'obosombi aya Kenya Kipchumba Murkomen ganya ko baka kwene ni ganya ko baka kuraria amachiko a NTSA ni garachi kunya ko baka kwene kiwa asipara abo ase aba gendia na boigo bali bagutara chipara barachi kunya ko bakuringoriwa nabo kwenekerwa obo nabo kwenekerwa usalama yabo chinga kwa konya ko bagutumika asipara a imensi ya Kenya ingana korinda nyari ko baka kwegwa okoboko amuno mu waziri w'uburundi bw'ime aiga Kenya muske kiture kindiki sinye ko baka kwene kebuna ya serikali ni girachi kunya ko baka kora imisako imetindi ko bwatikana na injire ye moyo gotema gokiania imibasukano igenyere ko baka kwene kiwa ase amatuka ya bwangwiga ase konde kindiki anyere ko baka gutuma engora goche ase barwanye ko bagusiria amagima abo kubwatikana amo nimibasukano eyu emebe ya para anyere ko baka kwene kiwa anemono asa boro kiwa bali be University ya Kenyatta University.
Wide law enforcement measures against traffic offenses, against drunk driving, against unroadworthy vehicles, and also we will be very, very firm with all road users so that we all observe traffic rules and save the number of our people that we are losing every day from road traffic accidents. All the peddlers of drugs, distributors and sellers of illicit alcohol and psychotropic substances without mercy. We are not going to backpedal. We are not going to look on the right or on the left. We will look ahead and continue with a ruthless law enforcement program to rid Kenya of narcotic drugs, illicit alcohol, and psychotropic
go manchu morgene ntukuru asigita sene kigani gotogotoma engora enene gochi ase bari banyako bagusiria amagimabo ko gwatikana amone mibasukani yanyate ko bagye kwanekiwa ubutuko bwokera rero na ibo igori tukoria igoro na gwikira bu manchu morgene gochikunya ko ngunya butura amangana majya kuru asigita sene kiga ko mugusini gatebete nga ebintu byangora konsaga bikwanko yorenge megai gosense moya kabiri studio ngakorwa Newton Nyabera Nigeria neni gongoro kwa Hespan Bosire kwikachinga kishinde turanya kwa tukumena ase embeo.